Hello my friends, and welcome back to a new video, and most of all, welcome to the year 2023. I'm recording this video on New Year's Day, so I hope all of you had a great start into the new year, and even if not, this is a great time to just make a cut and have optimism for the next 364 days now. Every day is a new chance, so I wish you all the best and lots of love, happiness, and just health for the coming year. Today I want to talk about what happened the last year, reflect a little bit, and then talk about my plans for the new year. But before I get into that, I have two more books to show you that I got for Christmas, because I want to start into the new year with a clean slate, with no books laying around that I haven't shown you yet. So I just want to get that out of the way. For Christmas, I got Midwinter Murders by Agatha Christie and The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Haddon. I must say that Midwinter Murders by Agatha Christie is not going onto my TBR pile. I already read it. I was just really in the mood for some Agatha Christie stories. And yeah, this book has some short stories. Some of them are with Hercule Poirot, some with Miss Marple, and I really enjoyed it. I'll talk more about it in my reading wrap-up for December, but I just wanted to show you guys. Okay, so about the other book, The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, it is a novel that has gotten some great reviews, and I'm excited about it. It sounds super interesting. So the main character is a boy who seems to be on the spectrum, who seems to be autistic, because it says here that he has trouble reading human emotions, but he's really good with numbers. He knows all the prime numbers, and he relates really well to animals. He has some really weird quirks, like he hates the color yellow. That's the main character, and one of the dogs in the neighborhood where he lives gets murdered, and he starts to investigate this crime. And so I'm really interested to see how this main character goes about things, how he sees the world, and I just love these stories from a different perspective that I never get to see in my everyday life. So I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, that was just to get my Christmas stuff out of the way. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about the year 2022. And for me, it was the year where I started my booktube channel. It's only been 2 months, but I really enjoy this. I really enjoy talking about books here and showing you what I read, and I hope you enjoy it too. I'm definitely going to continue, and I'm just so excited that I finally jumped over my own shadow and did this. So that was the main thing for me in 2022. Otherwise, I started a new job. I have started a few new hobbies. I've read amazing books, and yeah, I want to talk about those a little more now. So in total, I have read, what was it? I think something around 40 books, which I know does not sound like a lot for somebody whose hobby is to talk about books on YouTube, but that's the number, and it's only a number. So if you have read maybe more, then that's great. If you've read less, don't worry, there's no pressure in this. Reading is a hobby. But yeah, that's my number. And I have had some really fantastic reads this year. I'm so happy, and I want to show you real quick some of my favorite ones. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I've already made a video a couple weeks back where I show you some of my 5-star reads. But I want to show them here real quick because they were part of my year 2022, and they were part of why it was so special, and also why I decided to go here and talk about books. So let's start with Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. It is just, I love this book. It's a coming of age / suspense novel set in North Carolina in the marshlands. We follow a girl who has to fight for herself, who's viewed as an outcast. Who eventually becomes a murder suspect, who becomes suspected of having murdered somebody. And I love this. Really fantastic writing, really fantastic description of nature, and just, a unique story. Another book, big surprise to me, by the way, The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix, because it is horror and I've never read horror before. My first horror read, and yeah, it convinced me. I'm going to read horror going forward. I'm going to pay this genre more attention. I was really surprised. It's about a book club of like housewives in South Carolina and Charleston, who seem to have a really simple life, nothing much going on except for, you know, taking care of the household and the family, until somebody moves to the neighborhood, somebody strange and suspicious things start happening afterwards. Yeah, nobody believes that this guy has anything to do with this, but the woman of the book club, and so it's up to them to stop him, to find out who he really is, and yeah, save the town, basically. Loved it. All right, then we have Being Mortal by Atul Gawande. Probably the book I learned the most from this year. It's a nonfiction book about death and dying. I know topics that many people don't feel comfortable talking about, but they're so important. And yeah, the author writes about our medical system and how our society views death and dying. And I can definitely say that after reading this, I definitely feel more prepared now if a family member of mine were to become really sick or die, or even for myself. Beautiful book. Now we have a thriller. It's Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. Loved it too. I have never really read about this story. I know a lot of you may know it, so it was new to me and I didn't know about the twist. I want to say that if you already know the story, then this book might not be as great. If you don't know about the twist, then fantastic. It's written from the perspective of a wife and husband, where the wife goes missing and soon the husband is suspected of having committed the crime, of basically having gotten rid of her. And yeah, every time I read the viewpoint of the husband, I was on the husband's side. Every time I read about the woman, I was on the woman's side, and I just loved it. It was such a back and forth, and I didn't know what to think. So great book, can only recommend if you love suspense and have never read this one. Then we have The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides, also a really good suspense thriller. I really like psychological thrillers, and this one is psychological. It takes place in a mental ward where there's a woman sitting who has committed a crime. She has killed her own husband and has stopped speaking afterwards. She hasn't said a word since. So she has never explained why she did it, what happened. And we follow a psychiatrist who is basically going in there, starting to work at the facility, and is trying to get the truth from her. Really great. I did not see that twist in the end coming. It was one of the best twists of the year. So this definitely is also one of my favorites of 2022. So those were all the books I had shown before in my favorites video. I have added in the last 2 months The House in the Cherulean Sea by TJ Klune. My expectations were really high because I've seen this book in a lot of places and I was not disappointed. It was such a sweet read. I loved it. I was just, it was a feel-good read for me. And so whenever you feel down, please pick this book up. It's so sweet. It has some fantastic elements, although I wouldn't say it's really, fully fantasy. It takes place in a world like ours, but there are children that have magical abilities, certain children. And a lot of these children live in orphanages, and we have a caseworker in this book who's visiting one of those orphanages, and is basically there to determine if it should be closed, if it's safe, or what needs to be done with the inhabitants of that orphanage, because they're all very special in their own way. And I just loved reading about the kids. They really touched my heart. And as I say, feel good and so sweet. Probably, it might be my favorite book of this year. If I had to pick one, it might be this one. I'm just going to leave it at that. And then the last book is The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. I was not sure if I should show this book in this video because I really did not like the ending of it, but the way it was written and the main protagonists were just so fantastic. I just loved it that no, I had to show it too, because other than the ending, I loved it. It's written from the perspective of a high school boy who is very special. It's never said that he's autistic or on the spectrum, but I get that's the feeling I got when I read The World. When I read from his viewpoint, like how he thought about the world and what's going on. And yeah, I just loved how it was written, and it was interesting to me to see, yeah, just how life is like for him, being an adolescent, going to high school, all of that. And yeah, I had to show this one too. So those were all my favorite reads of this year. I don't know, maybe you've read some of them. I really liked them, and so if not, maybe you want to give them a try. They were really great. But yeah, that is 2022. So let's wrap it up and move on to 2023. And what I just wanted to announce is that my plan for this year is that I want to read all the books on my TBR. So all the books that I have here at home that I haven't read yet. And I have a total of 31. So I counted them all. I don't know if you're a fan of numbers, but I love numbers and just, yeah, analyzing everything and counting. So 31. I want to read all of them this year, and I don't want to, I want to try to not buy any books. If I do, I'll put them to the side and not read them until I have finished all of these. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it, but that is going to be my plan. That's what I'm going to try. So I thought that it might be easier to read everything if I do challenges. And I know that some other booktubers do it too, and I really like the idea. So I am going to pick a challenge for every month going forward and pick books that fit to the challenge and then read them. So I'm going to, at the end of every month, make a video where I show you the challenge of the next month and pick the books that I'm going to read. I hope that was clear. But yeah, so I want to introduce you to my January challenge, which is going to be books that have a wintry feel to them. And I have picked out 3 of them. So these books I want to read in January. The first one is a thriller. It's Rock, Paper, Scissor by Alice Feeney. And yeah, I mean, look at the cover. That's, I think, all I have to say for why I picked it for my wintry theme. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna take place in the winter. That's really why. It's about husband and wife that, yeah, their marriage is not as happy anymore. The husband has a condition where he doesn't recognize faces, not even the one of his wife, and obviously it's hard for her. She really feels like she isn't seen, and they win a trip to go somewhere for a weekend, and on this trip, yeah, I think something is going to happen, because it says that it's not an accident that the 2 of them won this trip, and that there may be somebody who doesn't want them to have a happy ever after. So yeah, I'm guessing that the trip is going to be to a place where there's a lot of snow, where it's remote. And so yeah, I picked it for January. Also, January, February, the dark months are for me also thriller months. I love to read suspense and thrillers in that kind of weather. So this is perfect. And in the same category falls The Sanatorium by Sarah Pierce. It's also, yeah, as you can see, in the snow and the winter. It's taking place in a sanatorium which has been closed down, and a couple is celebrating their anniversary party there, and they get snowed in, and then people start going missing. Chaos is spreading. So yeah, being snowed in, a thriller, fits my challenge perfect for January. So I'm going to read this. And then the next one I picked, it seems to be a theme also to be snowed in, because this book is The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna, and here we have a family that's in Alaska in the 1980s. They just moved there, and they're experiencing the Alaskan winter for the first time. You know, days are getting short, and they also get, yeah, cut off from the outside world because of all the snow and everything. And it's like a family drama because the husband has some mental problems, and they get worse as the winter progresses. So it's up to the wife and the daughter to basically escape and save themselves. So yeah, those are the 3 challenge books for January. I am going to read more, but those I definitely want to start. Maybe you want to partake in it and also select some books for yourself that are taking place in the winter or that are maybe thrillers. I would be excited if you do, so we can all do our little challenges. But yeah, that's it. I'm ready for 2023. I have a feeling this is gonna be a great one, trust me. And yeah, I'm just excited to keep this channel going. I'm looking forward to trying new things. Maybe I'll do like a reading vlog or vlogging. I've never tried that. That would be something I might do in 2023. Let me know if there's anything you would like me to try, you would like me to do. I'm happy to try it all out. And also, yeah, I just hope that our little community here is growing. And just thank you really for watching me, for clicking on my videos, for subscribing, for liking. I'm really happy, and thank you so much for your support. And yeah, I just wish you all the best. Again, Happy New Year, and hopefully see you guys soon. Bye bye.